Wow, we've been spoilt at this World Cup. We've had extraordinary game after extraordinary game. Brazil are out. The World Cup is now the European Championship. The 6 teams remaining are Belgium and France, who are now in the semi-finals, Croatia, Russia, Sweden and England. We've seen yet another enthralling game at this most extraordinary World Cup, and Belgium's golden generation have beaten the men in gold. 5 times winners, Brazil are out. There is nothing predictable, Alan, about this World Cup.
Oh, it's another incredible game of football, Gary. They were up against it in that second half, Belgium. Brazil had the chances, they came back, the manager made the changes as we thought he might, to give them a little bit more strength, to give them a little bit more pace in that second half. They got the goal, and it was a brilliant last 10 or 15 minutes, but Belgium hung on. The manager made big decisions against Japan. He had to change the game. He brought him on, Fellaini. He changed the game then. He kept him in the side this evening. He was magnificent the way him and Witsel in that midfield supported that back four. And all the decisions that he made, look, pushing De Bruyne further forward, changing the system, it all worked tonight. When you make big decisions, they have to work, and it's worked tonight perfectly for him. What a result and what a game.
Yeah, Neymar there, despondent, didn't quite happen for him tonight. Big gamble, of course, from Martinez to take Lukaku off when they were winning 2-1. Imagine if Brazil had equalised and they'd played extra time without Romelu Lukaku. But everything has gone right for Roberto Martinez. A stunning performance overall from Belgium to see off Brazil, Jürgen.
Absolutely stunning performance. When we said at halftime that Brazil has to step it up, they have to put it in another gear. They tried to, here and there they made it. But then it needs something special. It needs a piece of brilliance from Neymar, and that piece didn't come. And they hang in there and they fought, and you can see they have an amazing team spirit right now. They believe in themselves, so the group seems really very, very close. Roberto Martinez is doing, from looking at it from the outside, an amazing job. So congratulations, Belgium.
Amazing pictures there of that group hug. You could see Vincent Kompany fist bumping, congratulating his teammates. Leadership there.
Yeah, huge. And they seem to me they've got a few leaders, not just the one. And that's important in big teams. You need people around the team to lead this team. And you've got Vincent Kompany, you've got Lukaku, you've got Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne. They take responsibility. And what it is as well is that this team were questioned for their mentality, their character coming into this tournament. They're disappointed 2 years ago. This golden generation now are answering their critics in the perfect way. The manner in which they've dispatched of this team today, the way they started this game the first half, the way they bullied this very good Brazilian team and then got over the line at the end, says to me that this team have got the bit between their teeth, and I think they're the team to beat now.
Yeah, we saw Neymar walk off there, we've seen Messi walk off, we've seen Ronaldo walk off. We've seen Suarez walk off. We're going to have new stars at this World Cup, and one of those will be a manager. Will it be Roberto Martinez? Here he is.
Roberto Martinez, you said us before, this was the game they were born for, and they did it.
They did, and I think you saw it. There were incredible hearts out there. Sometimes you have to accept that Brazil has got this finesse, that quality that they're going to break you down, and they didn't accept it. I didn't even think that for 1 minute they were going to give up, and there's something special. These boys deserve to be real special people back in Belgium. I hope that everyone in Belgium is very, very proud.
Congratulations with your tactical masterpiece. A double row of 3 in the center. Lukaku, who came from the right. You never did something like this before when you took all those decisions.
Yes, but tactically, I never lost a game in the tactics board. It's the execution of the tactics that it matters, and the execution was magnificent. Just when you say to someone that we're going to play in a certain way, as a player you need to be so brave to accept it. And these boys in 2 days, they changed the tactical disposition, the approach to it, and that's not down to tactics. That's just down to the desire and wanting to make it happen. I couldn't be prouder. For my coach, that's just what you're working towards, to have the opportunity to give something to a player and then execute it to perfection.
Roberto, there's a whole generation in Belgium, 35 years and younger, who never experienced something like this. This is so special.
It is, and we can't let them down. I think now we need to enjoy this is beating Brazil in the World Cup in a knockout phase. Everyone needs to be in a way or another, created a nice memory back in Belgium, here in the stadium, and just treasure it and pass it down in the generations. And now we need more energy for the next game. So let's make sure that we all together and we all driving each other to be as good as we can in the semi-final.
There is Martinez. These are the scenes at the full-time whistle. Well, he's not gone crazy, but he's certainly a happy man, I'm sure. It's just over 2 years ago that Roberto Martinez was sacked as manager of Everton Football Club. Now he's leading a national side to the semi-finals of the World Cup. You never know in football, do you, Jurgen?
You never know, and you've got to be really happy for him. I mean, he formed this Belgium team in a way that they believe in it, they stick to the plan. As he said, he changed tactics, the players bought into that process, and it seems everybody's on the same page, you know. So the chemistry now, especially the quarterfinal, is the most important moment in a World Cup. You make it or you break it.
Yeah. That's been the big question about this Belgian team. Are you a team of individuals who can perform now and again, or can you come together as a team? And he's gelled them together. That all has to come from the manager. From what went on 2 years ago to where they are now, there's a huge difference too. Come back from 2-0 down against Japan, to have the character to hang on this evening. That tells you everything about that team spirit in that team.
Go on, you want to say something?
I think that as well. That's being able to manage egos. That's being able to manage top players. You've got Hazard, been the best player in the Premier League for a couple of years, won titles there. You've got Kevin De Bruyne this year, the main man. You've got Lukaku. Them three are the main men at their clubs in terms of producing and deciding games. They've had to be brought together, and that's the question. Could you get them to do that? That's what Alan's saying there. Can you get them to do that? That's down to the manager in cajoling them talents and making them play together and giving them a dream that they can all believe in, which they do now.
They had a nervy last 20 minutes, though, thanks to this goal from Augusto, which gave us a football match, made it exciting.
Yeah, and this is what we wanted. We said at half-time, we want this team to come out of Brazil and really up the ante and up the intensity and really go for it and be brave. And they did. This ball from Coutinho, the weight to take Vincent Kompany out of this equation here, and then the header. I mean, you guys can talk about the difficulty of the header, but the ball there to take out a defender is exquisite.
He's still got to do so much work, hasn't he? It's a lovely ball off Coutinho, but
it's
still
a lot of work to do
pace
behind it.
The neck muscles all the way around it, to swivel the neck around and get it on target, get it down and guide it into the corner. It's a lovely header.
But to be honest with you, Courtois needs to take some credit as well. He made some big saves in that game, and he didn't need. There wasn't going to get anything past him, really.
No, they certainly did. Brazil, after that, had a number of chances, as you would expect them to do. Belgium backed off. 17 attempts at goal in the second half, Brazil, to Belgium's 1, Jurgen.
Yeah,
here's one or two of those chances.
And this is about killing it. I mean, this is about players that, in that moment, quarterfinal of the World Cup, they got to put it in. Yeah. You know, that's a question of quality in that specific moment, and the quality today, unfortunately, didn't come in executing then those opportunities. Also, it's Neymar didn't show that urgency, didn't show that determination to put it in, and this obviously a beautiful attempt, but Courtois is on top of his game there as well. But they were lacking that last piece of quality, Brazil, tonight, and that's why they only scored 1 goal.
Yeah. Better have a look at a couple of penalty shouts, VAR. Well, we'll look at the Neymar dive first, because it's been a talking point in this World Cup, some of his antics, and he's not going to help himself with this one either. I know, Alan, you said your part on these things.
No, but this is what the reason that I think they didn't get the call of the VAR 5 or 10 minutes later because of that. When the guys are looking at this, and any dodgy or iffy decision that has to be made is going to go against Brazil because of that. That does not help his team tonight because of those actions there with that blatant dive and trying to cheat. Now, 5 minutes later, there's a tight, close call on VAR, and it goes against him, and it goes against his team.
Well, let's have a look at that tight call, because it looks like it could well have been a penalty. It was just a couple of minutes after that. And here we go. It comes in from Marcelo.
Well, it is. I mean, he does touch him, and I think it is a penalty. Lovely skill, and you can see on the slow-mo there, he's straight into his just above his ankle, isn't he? And takes him out. The ball is still in play when he touches him. still there, and he brings him down. I do think it's a penalty.
What do you think, Rio?
I'm not 100% certain.
I think it's a penalty. I think as a defender, what I always used to believe is that if you go to ground, you're giving the referee an opportunity to give a penalty. And I think Vincent Kompany was desperate there. And I think if he was honest enough at the end of the game, he's won, he'd hold his hand up and say, yep, it was a penalty. Look here, slow-mo here. Shifts the ball and he's on the floor already. He's out of control.
Hits his shin there. What do you think? Yeah,
it's a clear penalty. There's no doubt about it. It's clear. But the question now really is, do the VAR, so they sit in the studio, do they leverage now the dive of Neymar towards that penalty?
That was Alan's point.
That is the point. I mean,
I don't know.
What are they talking now to the referee on the field?
Well, that's the only thing that I can think of why that's worked against Brazil is because of the actions earlier on in the game, the dive from Neymar, and they've been punished, I think, because of that.
Here's another one on Neymar. A little bit of contact, but not enough.
Not enough.
I think he was beyond the ball as well anyway. He was never going to get there, but a little bit of contact.
He gets him in the face, but not enough to give a penalty.
This is a contact sport. There's going to be a bit of contact here and there.
No, that's not enough for a penalty.
No.
We agree with that one. The other one, we think Vincent may have got away with that one, but I suppose it's funny, if you've got 6 VAR guys in there and 5 of them think it's a penalty and 1 doesn't, then I suppose it's not. Well, it was 100%. How many times did we have to look to be sure, I suppose, is the argument?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we were told before the tournament started, that VAR was brought in for this tournament for the absolute howlers.
Although it's not always been exactly the case, but I think it's been a big addition to it. Well, what do you think to VAR?
I think it's a big addition. I think it's the big winner, actually, one of the big winners of this World Cup.
Even with that decision tonight?
Well, there will always be.
I mean, it's still human error.
If 9 out of 10 really work well, you always will have some discussion about the one or the other situation. But I would say that 95% of all decisions that were kind of influenced by VAR were right, were correct. Obviously this one not.
Yeah, and you're not going to see anyone punch the ball in the net like we've seen before. Things like that, but it's true though, isn't it? That's not. It's not going to happen anymore. So it's a good thing. Talking about punching the ball and using your hands, Courtois, you mentioned him, is terrific.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to win any type of title, you need a goalkeeper to be able to stand up at big moments in the game. And I think today he done that. He was fantastic here. The Costa come on, he was very sharp, but everything he kind of got his hands to, he had a bit of fortune as well. He didn't drop to people when he'd made a save or pushed the ball out. And you do need an element of luck here and there, but still, his positioning, his anticipation was fantastic tonight. And he was there as the last line of defence, and nothing was going to beat him tonight. That header they got, obviously, but he looked kind of a guy who was on his game.
But not only his saves, also his charisma, his presence. He was very calm, he was very relaxed, and your defenders feel that. You feel it when a goalkeeper is there, relaxed, and is on top of his game. And that's why he was just so outstanding, not only because of the saves.
No, we can hear from him. Thibaut Courtois is with Jason Mohammed.
Well, Thibaut, many congratulations. I mean, can you sum up, can you put into words what is going through your mind right now?
That's incredible, This team wants to win every game. We won all our games until now. Like against England, a lot of team said it's better to lose, to draw, but we were there. We wanted to win every game. We chose maybe the hardest part, but we have confidence in our team.
I was watching you in the warm-up. There was a real steely determination, wasn't there, in the warm-up today, and we saw that on the pitch.
Yeah, indeed. I think I've been unfairly criticized a lot of time this year. Okay, maybe sometimes I could have saved the goal, but the amount of things I got over my head, I think it was not always fair. So I think today I prove again who I am and where I'm here, and I'm very happy with that.
And especially that save from Neymar in the final stages. What was going through your mind, Thibaut?
Well, obviously I saw the ball going back, cut back, and I was back good on my feet. I know he likes to do it that way, and I was ready, and I pulled a great save, I think.
What about the performance from Marouane Fellaini and Vincent Kompany in front of you today?
Well, I think it's everyone. I think our tactical plan was amazing, especially the first half. We knew very well what to do, how to defend. We did well. There was a bit of luck as well with the post and so, but you felt it was our day today. Second half was much harder with obviously their strength, offensive strength. They're really good going forward, and we were a bit tired. Obviously, we gave a big effort against Japan, and good team performance.
You are one win away from a World Cup final, Thibaut.
Yeah, indeed, and it's amazing. This is a childhood dream. We have a difficult team against France. We know plenty of guys there. especially Oli and N'Golo. But it will be a great game.
Top man, congratulations.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
That this thing about Jordan, I want to say and clarify it because I heard a lot of stuff. I never mocked his height. I want to make that clear because I would never mock the height of a goalkeeper. I think he's a great goalkeeper. He proved this year, and I only said that because he got a touch, maybe I would have said it because I'm 15 centimeters taller, but I never mocked his height because I know he's a great goalkeeper. So I want to make that clear.
Okay, thank you very much. See you in St. Petersburg. Thank you.
Fair enough, well said, Thibaut. He was magnificent. Here's a stat for you, Jurgen. It will be the first time in the semi-finals that we haven't had either Brazil, Argentina or Germany, ever.
Yeah, you needed to make that clear.
No, it's a fact. It's just a fact, Jurgen. I'm sorry.
Now we all hope that England goes in there.
Yeah, of course. Let's remind ourselves about how Belgium got themselves into a good position in this game. A goal from a corner, a bit of luck to start with.
Yeah, a bit of fortune, but well worked. I mean, there was the way Vincent Kompany runs across the middle and causes confusion between the two at the near post there, Jesus and Fernandinho, and it comes off his
arm, isn't it? Top of his arm.
Top of his arm there. There's not really a lot he can do with it, but the run, without doubt, causes confusion.
The second goal was special. Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
Oh, it was beautiful. And Kevin De Bruyne, as we said before, playing that little bit further up the pitch where he can actually start deciding games and the final pass, the weighted pass, etc. Here he is. He's at the bottom, at the top of your screen there, on the touchline. He makes up that ground. Lukaku here does wonderful with the ball. Turns what you want from your striker, to hold the ball up, take people on and then bring other people into the game. And then here, the finish is like an arrow, rocket into the bottom corner. What a strike. No keeper would have saved it.
And it proves again the understanding of these two guys. I mean, they know where each other is, where they make their runs, you know, and Lukaku's hard work prepares this opportunity, and the execution is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Beautiful strike.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous shot. We've seen that so many times, haven't we, this season? There's Roberto Martinez's reaction. Kevin De Bruyne, what a wonderful footballer. Let's hear from him. He's with Jason Mohammed.
Well, Kevin De Bruyne, many, many congratulations. You are one win away from a World Cup final, and you've just knocked out one of the tournament favourites.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy to play against Brazil. Obviously, they're such a wonderful team. But I think the power we have as a team is shown today, especially the first half. I think we played magnificent. We changed our tactic. We played a little bit risk to leave two players up front. And I think the first half we took the advantage. Second half, I think they changed tactically, and it was very difficult because they created a lot of plays in the middle. I think even then we created some chances. And the last 15 minutes after the goal is a character test, and I think we showed the world what we're capable of.
What a wonderful strike from you as well today.
Yeah, I was waiting a little bit because I saw Thomas coming right of me, so Marcelo has to go a little bit to the side, and I saw free space, but yeah, to hit it like that is nice.
It's a sweet strike. Also a fantastic run from Romelu too.
Yeah, I think we did very well in that compartment. Eden, Romelu and me created some problems, especially in the first half, with the runs from deep or up front, and yeah, it's wonderful.
Do you feel as well, Kevin, that you've grown as a group after missing out in the European Championships? Do you think mentally you are ready now to take on the very best in the world?
Well, you have to grow as a player and as a team. Obviously, it's very difficult. It's a tournament. I know you're out, and it's going to be with the next games the same. But we try everything to win the game, and we have to prepare mentally. And in the end, we'll see what happens.
You have a remarkable togetherness as well. You can see that before the match, during the match, and after the match.
Yeah, but we are here to try and win the World Cup. Obviously, everybody tries to win it. If we can win the semi-final, we are there in the game where everybody wants to be. So we have to prepare ourselves to be ready for that game.
Well, Belgium are through, Brazil are out. This World Cup's pretty open now, isn't it?
Oh, it's very open. And we go back to the job that Roberto Martinez is doing. 5 wins on the spin, unbeaten now in 24 games. 24, yeah. They were beaten in his very first game, haven't been beaten since. So
it shows you the value of being patient with the manager. I mean, he lost his first match, they stuck with it.
they're full of confidence.
Yeah. He's doing a great job. He's got good players.
He's got some very, very good players, but still you have to manage, that environment. You have to manage that group with a lot of egos, big players, playing in Premier League. And he's done a fantastic job. And this stage now, quarterfinals into semifinals, and hopefully all the way until the end, is all about the spirit of the group that you built over those 2 years. And that's not only the players, obviously with all their different characters. It's also your coaching style, your medical staff, your entire management. You manage a group of 50, 60 people every day for about 2 months, and there's a lot of tension, a lot of kind of issues and problems. And he seems like he found the recipe to make everybody feel important, make everybody feel happy and appreciated. And that's a lot of the work a manager is doing. And it seems like they really get along, and that spirit is what carries you into the semi-final and into a final and maybe into winning a World Cup.
And I think adding to that point about making people feel a part of the squad, he rewarded players from the last game against Japan. Fellaini came on, changed the game. Chadli came on and scored. They start this game today. That gives people hope within a squad. If I perform, I will keep my shirt and I'll stay in. And that then creates a spirit. That helps towards the spirit of this squad now going on and believing that they are capable of winning this tournament.
Well, there's only 6 teams left.